Hey guys, Haas with Haas Games and Cards, and I hope you're all doing awesome because you all deserve it. What do we got going on today? Well, first of all, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been ordering off the website. That's been helping us out a ton. It's been helping us out a ton, and I really, really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. We've kind of ran... the distro doesn't have a lot of stuff right now. And we'll make a video about distro. I think I want to make a separate video about distro and how that's been working for 2025. And then, especially with all these people that are kind of going crazy about pricing, not agreeing with pricing and things like that. But there's a lot of things that distro does in the background that kind of influence a lot of how pricing works right now. It's crazy.
Like all I feel is rage and frustration.
They're doing things I've never seen before. We'll cover that in a different video, and we'll probably make another video soon that hits the topic of should you start a Pokemon business in 2025. I think that'd be very interesting to go over. But what we do have left in the store, my friends, we do have Surging Sparks booster bundles. If you want those, go for them, because they are not going to be there forever. So there's very limited stock. Grab them while you can. And of course, we still have our mystery product, guys. This is just a good way to help support our business. Is it the best thing in the world you can buy yourself? Probably not. But for those who get very lucky, we do have some really cool stuff in there. We have slabs. We have tons of sealed product, booster boxes. We've gotten a lot of booster boxes out to people. It's been a lot of fun. We added in Prismatic Evolutions as well. Into the mystery product. So I appreciate everybody who has been going in on it. It's been super helpful. You guys are all awesome. And then we also have our giveaway that we're trying to do. Don't forget about this, guys. Don't forget about this. But we do have our giveaway that we're attempting to do. We do have this Prismatic Evolution Pokemon Center ETB. These things are getting expensive. In fact, I wonder how much they're going for right now. Do I have it on a quick search? Let's take a look. Prismatic Pokemon Center ETB. Guys, these are going for over 300 now. Market price is 301, and it's not stopping. Last sold's at 312, 349 for one of them. Whew. So guys, I'm asking for a lot. I am. But for something that's over 300 bucks, the goal is if we can hit 10,000 subs by May 25th, we're going to give this away. There is a giveaway video set up for this already. I'll put the link to the video in my video description of this, but all you have to do is go to that video, like, comment, and share the video. We need to share this out to as many people as we can so we can give this away. I really want to give it away. If we don't hit 10,000 subs, I'm still going to give something away. May 25th, mark it on your calendars. It's actually my birthday too. But we'll still give something away. And then we'll just push this back and we'll try again. We'll try again until we eventually hit it and make it happen, right guys? So come on, May 25th. Let's get that going for a giveaway. We need 10,000 subs by May 25th, which is my birthday. We can make it happen. So today's topic, we recently made a video about grading. There's a lot of interesting changes that PSA made about grading in itself, especially with front centering. Front centering now has to be 55-45. It used to be 60-40. While my last submission was in grading, it was still 60-40, but by the time it got graded, they stealth changed it to that 55-45. So we did get a little cooked on our last grading. But 55-45 is kind of what the majority of bigger graders are doing now, have been doing for a while, especially Beckett. Hopefully my kid doesn't wake up. We'll see here in a minute. Especially Beckett and some other companies. So, man, I was frustrated about my last submission. It was a little rough. It was a little rough because I submitted it with 60-40 in mind. So now I have to be a lot more cognizant of my submissions, and I'm starting to use the grading tool more often and other things like that. But anyways, so other grading companies that are supposedly more strict on grading than PSA, like Beckett. With Beckett, we have their Gem Mint 9.5, which is, in my opinion, mostly equivalent to a PSA 10, depending on the subgrades. But what we did in our last video, well, in the last couple of videos, for one, we got our Grail card. We got a Beckett 9.5 Mewtwo GX. And let's take a look at that. Mewtwo GX. So we got a Beckett 9.5 Mewtwo GX. This is my favorite card of all time. This is a big Grail card for me. This thing has been selling like crazy, guys. Well over $2,000. Very expensive card. I love the Mewtwo. The Mewtwo card is my favorite. 100%. I love the hell out of this card. We did pick one up in a 9.5. A Beckett 9.5, that is. And as we can see, Beckett 9.5. Ooh, that's a good one. I almost want to pick that up if I can get it for cheaper than that. Usually Beckett 9.5s don't sell as much as a PSA 10. And so we got a really good deal on a Beckett 9.5 previously. And it's like, well, how well does Beckett translate to a PSA 10? Does it always, since that's their Gem Mint rating, does it always turn into a PSA 10? Or does it sometimes not? So what we did is we sent in our Beckett 9.5 Mewtwo GX. And we sent in a Paldean Fates Charizard Beckett 9.5 that we had just kicking around. We submitted them to PSA. We didn't do anything weird. We didn't crack the slabs and tried to send it as a raw card. For one, I didn't want to damage the cards, especially with that Mewtwo. That Mewtwo is so expensive that it was not worth me risking damaging the card to try to break it out of the slab and then submit it raw. I didn't want to take that risk. And PSA does have a crossover grade option where you can pay for them to look at the slab. And you can say, hey, if this is going to be a PSA 10, then cool, break it out. I'll pay you guys, make it a PSA 10, put it in a PSA 10 slab, and then send it back to me. Or if they do not consider it to be a PSA 10, they'll just leave it in the way you sent it. So they won't break open your 9.5 if it doesn't hit PSA 10. So we did that, guys. Look, we got it back. Oh, this has our Mewtwo GX and our Paldean Fate Charizard. We're going to see how we did. We're going to see, did we hit the mother load on this? Did we get the Mewtwo GX for a good price? And now it's a PSA 10, or did it stay a 9.5? I don't know. Let's take a look and see. So for one, I apologize. We're in the middle of moving to our new house. So I don't have the best setup to do a desk camera anyways. This desk is way too small, but once we move into our new house, I am going to have a much better setup, a bigger desk where I'm not crammed. Like, we're going to be crammed here for a second. I don't even know if I can talk into the microphone. I'm going to be all stretching weird to make this happen. So we're going to try, guys. We are definitely going to try. Let's see. Okay. So we got to open this thing up here. And again, I'm kind of stretching. Some of it might be a little off camera because I don't want to spoil it for you guys either. But PSA wrapped it up all nicely for us. And I'm going to get it to where it doesn't get spoiled for you guys. And I don't want to spoil it for me too. So here we go. Here's what we got. Oops, don't want to show this yet. We have a couple things. We have, it looks like a Beckett label in here. This must have been whatever card got whatever grade it got. So we do have this right here. We do have a PSA slab now. So one of them did make it into a PSA 10 because I said do not crack it out unless it hits PSA 10. So we have one card that hit a PSA 10. And it looks like one card that stayed a Beckett. Oof. So let's show the PSA one first, because if we flip that Beckett, we know what card is going to be the PSA 10 slab. So we might as well just flip the slab and see what we got. Wish us luck. I hope this is the Mewtwo. I really, really hope this is the Mewtwo. That's my favorite card of all time. It's my Grail card. Come on, come on. And it's the Mewtwo. Yes. Oh my goodness. We got lucky with that, my friends. We definitely got lucky with this. Look how beautiful that card is. The textures, everything about it. Definitely love this card. We got lucky. I feel very fortunate to have this card because I'm not going to sell it. This is all personal collection. This is not going anywhere. I'm not gonna do anything with it except keep it, display it at home. I love this card. I love this card. I can never get rid of it, and if I did, I'd never be able to get another one. They're too expensive. So, I mean, the back on it, it's hard to tell. I have crappy lighting here, guys. I am so sorry. But the back is beautiful. The back was beautiful. So let's take a look, because I'm pretty sure this right here, and of course we have our Charizard. That's what we got back. Oh, they took it out of my sleeve. They could have put it back in another Beckett sleeve, but I guess not. I'll have to re-sleeve that up. But that's a beautiful Charizard. I bet I'm kind of surprised that didn't make a PSA 10, to be honest. It is definitely 55-45 for centering. Maybe we got some white spots. Yeah, maybe they're a little more strict on white spots. So let's compare the subgrades, right? Subgrades on this guy. 9.5 on centering, 9.5 on edges, 9 on corners. So yeah, they must have not liked the back corners too much. And 10 on surface. So surface stuff was all good. Still a very beautiful card. And what's this? Oh. And then they send you this saying, don't break it, don't hold it, just keep it in its slab. So here we have this right here. This is our Mewtwo subgrades. So we have a 9.5 on centering, 9.5 on edges, and a 10 on corners and 10 on surface, which I agree. I have not seen a Mewtwo with better corners than this one that we currently have. So here we have this, right? Mostly 2 10s and 2 9.5s. So PSA must look at that. And of course, they objectively look at the card and they say, you know what? This is definitely a PSA 10. And so they cracked it out, put it in a PSA 10 for us. To be honest, I kind of like this crossover grading better. I don't want to crack open slabs and damage cards and try to do it myself. You know what? I think this is how I'm going to do it. A lot of people try to pull one over on PSA and crack them out of slabs and resubmit them. I think this is how I'm going to do it if I'm going to go from Beckett to PSA. So what can we glean from this? Well, basically what this tells me is that depending on your subgrades, you do have a good chance of getting a PSA 10. You do have a decent chance of getting a PSA 10, but it looks like the subgrades definitely need to align more up to about this. Where with our Charizard, of course, we're a little off. We're definitely a little bit off. 9.5, 9.5, and then a straight up 9 on corners. So if that corners was a 9.5 or maybe a 10, I bet this would have been a PSA 10 as well. So definitely keep that in mind. And here's the subgrades again for Mewtwo. 2 9.5s and 2 10s. So if you're going onto eBay and saying, oh, you know what? I can get a good deal on a Beckett slab, a little bit better than PSA possibly. And let me change this over to here. There we go. You could potentially look at, one of these cards and say, hey, you know what? I could buy this. It has a 10 centering, which is crazy because those are really hard to get, a 10 in centering. 10 on edges, 10 on corners, but 9 on a surface. So the surface must be a little jacked up somewhere. I'm not sure where. But you could potentially buy this and send it to PSA as a crossover and get that 10. I think that's awesome. That's very exciting. and you might be able to make some good plays. Oh, look, and even here it says possibly a PSA 10. You might be able to make some graded plays with this if you can find, not this card specifically, but just cards in general. Usually Beckett 9.5s end up being significantly cheaper than a PSA 10. So we could pull up maybe this guy. Let's see what this one's all about. No 10s on it, so maybe this would be a harder one to look at. But 9 centering, 9.5 edges, 9.5, 9.5. But that might be something where PSA looks at those and say, nah, it's a 10. But yeah, that's where I would take a look at certain cards, not specifically Mewtwo, but cards that you like and enjoy. I would gamble around with that a little bit. So does Beckett Gem Mints always turn into a PSA 10 Gem Mint? No. Depends on the subgrades for sure. But there's a good chance. And there's some good... Oh, that's a cool one. Anyways, there's a good chance. There's a good chance, but not always. So don't bank on it. Just because you have a Beckett Gem Mint doesn't mean you're going to always have that translate into a PSA 10. But let's take a look at one other thing. I'm just kind of curious. Let's see. Lugia Alt Art Beckett 9.5. Because these are going for like what, $600, $700 now. So you find a Lugia. This one's up on bid. I don't know how much they go for. Oh, even in Beckett they're going. How it's sold. We can't look at that. We gotta look at sold items. So yeah, they're going for about $400 to $500-ish bucks. But we take a look at. Is it gonna let us look at it? Dang it. Might not because it's sold. I think those are 10. I think those are all 10s and one of them's like a 9 or 9.5. So let's find a real Lugia here. I mean, you could find one like this, best offer it, not that one. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I should have had a better example set up before making this video. But you could definitely find some Beckett 9.5s out there that are a little bit cheaper. Try to cross-grade them. So that's exciting, because I do have a handful of Beckett 9.5s, and now I want to give it a shot. And I have all their subgrades, so I'm like, I really, really want to take a look at this. So I hope you guys find that interesting. Because I know a lot of people are always curious, how does CGC go into PSA? Or how does Beckett compare to PSA? And how do we know where we can end up landing if we try to cross-grade? Hopefully this gives a little bit better of an idea. Let me know in the comments. Have you guys tried this? What do you think? And then also don't forget to get into our giveaway, guys. Get into our giveaway for this Prismatic Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Video will be in the description. Don't miss it. Let's pump up our subscribership. I appreciate everybody who does show up to these and watches our videos. I think you are all awesome. I hope you have a good night. Don't do anything crazy.